A woman's place is in the home. Miss Letitia Fenley stopped in her tracks at that declaration. What a joker! Everyone knew a woman's place was in charge if you want something done right. Another winter had come to London and stubbornly refused to be gone. These bleak weeks of March more resembled February, an in-between time when the sun sullenly peeked out from behind the clouds now and then, waiting for the world to be pretty enough to bother with. Letty Fenley and her brother Sam traversed the streets of Clerkenwell. Strung out in a grim leer, buildings stained dark yellow and brown from decades of soot and humidity squeezed together like crooked teeth, the second and third stories leaning over to rub against the ones next door. The cobbles under their feet were greasy and half submerged beneath a mix of mud, manure, and straw. The two of them were headed for the grander environs of Bloomsbury, where, amid its walled gardens and wooden walkways, they'd be more likely to find a hack. Halting their progress was a crowd of angry men blocking the road, holding rudely painted signs and shouting ridiculous slogans in front of an unremarkable brick building. The shingle hanging over the door read Messrs. Jewell and Hoyt, candlemakers. The store's owner had turned his sign to closed and pulled the curtains tight against the ire of folks marching on the walk outside. Letty stood on her toes at the edge of the crowd to better view the happenings. Another pea-souper of a fog had sprung up, and invisible motes of coal smut coated the back of her throat from breathing in the noxious air. She pulled the high collar of her mantle around her mouth and nose. "Why are you stopping?" grumbled her brother, eyes fixed on the road as he tried to keep his boots clear of the worst of the ruts, his head no doubt filled with work. "Bad enough I have to take time away from the store to escort you to your club. Worse is when time is wasted by your—" Glancing up, Sam took in the scene before them for the first time. "What nonsense is this?" He squinted through the fog at the commotion. "Who are these never-sweats blocking the street at midday when there is business to be conducted?" With no time to read anything other than accounting ledgers, Sam had missed the latest news regarding the rise of the guardians of domesticity. Grovelling at the feet of the aristocracy and blaming women for the ills of society, the guardians hid behind a facade of respectability, with lectures and charity work that claimed to celebrate the traditional British family and women's role as keeper of the hearth. Their true colours came into view when they found a business contributing to the downfall of civilization by employing young women in their shops and factories. "Ladies should be taking care of men's needs instead of taking men's wages," shouted one man, flushed with an angry joy. He'd found a captive audience for his complaints as he shook a meaty fist in the face of a slender young woman trying to sidle past him and make her way into the shop. A shop's assistant, no doubt, hired for pennies per week, working dawn to dusk for a pittance of what a male assistant might make. Although the girl's poke bonnet hid her face, the set of her shoulders and bowed head signalled distress. Letty clenched her fingers. Despite the dank mist freezing her toes, heat rose in her chest. "How dare those oafs frighten that poor girl? Why, I am going to—" "You are going to do nothing but make your way to your ladies' club," Sam growled, pulling Letty by the sleeve away from the crowd. Unlike the shop girl's threadbare cloak, Letty's deep blue mantle was made of the finest wool, the discreet trim done in costly velvet. "Da says I'm to get you there without incident, and that's what I intend to do." Scratching his head, Sam read a large banner near them. "What is this nonsense supposed to accomplish? Take care of men, indeed."